I would turn Frosty the Snowman into a book. Frosty melts into nothingness at the end, but vows to return. That is a horror novel waiting to happen.
Overeating definitely is the honest answer to this. But my family, when we were younger, we used to, on Christmas night, just before midnight, we'd say prayers, and then afterwards we'd pop some sort of alcoholic drink just to make sure we got a taste of both sides of the force.
My favorite holiday tradition is probably making homemade latkes with my family for Hanukkah, and then we, of course, have to eat them, and that is probably the best part.
I'm Australian, so my favourite holiday tradition is heading down to the beach after we have stuffed ourselves full of food. Being in the snow sounds really strange to me.
I live in Austin, right? So my whole family lives back in East Texas. So on Christmas Day or the day before Christmas, I will jump in my car and drive 2.5 to 3 hours back to East Texas. I don't get to see them very often, maybe like 3 or 4 times a year. So it's really great to be able to see them and to laugh with them and just hang out and do nothing. I don't really care much for the gifts or the food or whatever. It's just like getting to see my family, and also the music. I really like the music too.
For the holidays, I love to sleep in. Like, what's the purpose of having a day off if you're not literally sleeping in and eating all day? So actually, it would be fun to just kind of sleep in and eat in bed.
I think the best gifts are surprises usually, so I would love to be surprised by a book this Christmas that makes me laugh a little bit, makes me think a lot, and maybe even makes me shed a little man tear as well. It's been a while.
What I've been looking forward to is How Not to Fall in Love by Jacqueline Firkins, and it is a loose retelling of Don Quixote, and it takes place in contemporary times, though. It is about a girl whose best friend, whose guy always falls in love with wrong girls, and then she kind of takes it upon herself to kind of teach him how not to fall in love. I got a chance to read an early version, and it was utterly delightful, so I'm looking forward to having my finished copy.
On my wish list, Elise Bryant's new book, One True Loves, comes out in January. I'm really excited. It's really soon, so... And then Christina Forrest's new book comes out in June, Zyla and Kai, and I just cannot wait for that. Next year is looking pretty good.
I am super excited to read Blood Scion by Deborah Faylaye, and it is about a 15-year-old girl who can incinerate her enemies at will. What's not great about that? It's like the perfect scenario.
My bookish wish list is very long this year, but I really want Only a Monster by Vanessa Len.
Don't know that I have so many characters who are Grinches in my books, but I will say that the butler in Dangerous Alliance, who's my main character, Vicky's favorite guy and one of her advocates, he's perhaps not so excited about having to deal with all the holiday stuff, just because as a butler, it's a lot of work.
If I had to choose one of my characters, I would say that Auden would definitely be the Grinch of the group, because you could just imagine his mom going way overboard with the decorations and the lights. I bet their house is the prettiest on the block. I bet he hates it. I bet he hates it so much. And I'm sure it's probably really hard for both him and his mom because, you know, his dad isn't there with them. So he's definitely the Grinch of the group.
Artie is the biggest Grinch of all of my characters. Artie in the Kingdom of Souls series. She's a killjoy. She's the kind of person who's going to make sure you have a horrible time.
I would say Mr. Sweeney is by far the biggest Grinch in this story. He's an interesting character to write, but yeah, I think you kind of quick read and you get the sense that he's quite green and slimy inside, so yeah.
I would turn Frosty the Snowman into a book, because if you take a look at the lyrics, Frosty melts into nothingness at the end but vows to return. that is a horror novel waiting to happen. It'd be kind of fun to write.
I think the song that would make the best book would be "Baby, it's cold outside." The lyrics are a bit controversial, right? Like there's this guy and he's like, "Stay with me, just stay, it's snowing out there." And the girl's like, "Dude, I gotta go. Okay, I gotta go. I kind of want to stay, but I gotta go." And then I think there's like a point where he put something in her drink and that's just like not okay. So I think that would make a great book, you know.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Though I think the catch would be that no one can agree what Christmas looks like, and then there's all of this confusion and it turns into a horror story.
If I'm being really honest, none of them. I hate Christmas carols, which maybe makes me the Grinch, but so be it.
I think I have to go with the dreidel song, although there's not a lot to work with as far as story in that song, so I think it'd be a challenge, but I think I'd be up for it.
Cheesy holiday movies have their place, right? There's a right time and there's a right place. They exist to be background noise. They're great to put on when you're cooking for Christmas, when you're decorating for Christmas, and you really don't have attention or time. Really homey mood. So I think that's the only appropriate time to watch those cheesy Christmas movies, is when you aren't really watching.
I love cheesy holiday movies, but then again, I think all holiday movies are cheesy. Well, some are cheesy and sappy, and some are sappy, but mostly they're just cheesy.
I'm nay on that. I don't actually watch holiday movies. Very rarely do I ever watch a holiday movie, let alone a cheesy one. So, yeah, I'm a nay on that.
Big yes for me. I want to watch them. I want to hear about your favorites. Ideally, I would like to live in one. I'm kind of a romantic.
Yeah, big yay. One symptom of writing the upper world, I think, is that I kind of see time travel everywhere. And probably the closest we've gotten as a species to time travel is the holiday Christmas film. I think just chuck in Home Alone or Elf and I'm immediately a boy again. So yeah, big fan of those. Big yay.